What's going on, guys and girls? We're here playing some more Metal Gear Solid 5, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to complete all the mission tasks for mission 12, which is called Hellbound. So in this mission, there are 6 mission tasks that you need to complete. The first 2 are mandatory tasks, so those will just be completed by completing this mission. So most likely people have already got those ones. And the other 4 are just a whole lot of little collectible sort of things. So one of them is extract 3 walker gears from the central base camp. All of these kind of happen in the central base camp, but because this is one of those certain story missions that you end up starting quite far away from the base camp. So what I decided to do is I made sure that I had D-Horse selected when I did this, and then I also made sure that I had a whole lot of silenced weapons. Because I have got the gunsmith, and once you get the gunsmith you can actually silence a whole lot of different weapons. So I highly recommend coming back when you've got some very good gear. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be heading towards central base camp. We are going to be trying doing this without being spotted too much. So this mission also has a gunship, as you probably noticed already. The gunship is very, very annoying, so that's basically the main reason why I'm not going to be sprinting through this mission very, very quickly. That's why it's going to be a little bit longer than usual. Otherwise I would have been able to get through this probably quite a bit quicker if I didn't have to try and get through it without being spotted by the gunship. So what we did there is we tranquilized the guy in the corner. That actually drew this guy away from his post so that we can get rid of him. That's actually a good thing because of the fact that it will allow us to get past the gunship and the other guy that's situated on the roof so that we don't get spotted by any of those. Once you come around the back of this building, the gunship will be taking off and you'll be heading to the central base. So that's the place we actually really want to be. This guy over here, he's just up here. We just want to make sure we get rid of him so he doesn't spot us, because he can end up spotting you and then calling in reinforcements and all that sort of stuff. There's also a guy up here that we're going to be getting rid of. Now this is actually a complete and utter misclick. I was trying to run up and then smash him on the ground, but then what happened is I just tackled him instead. So this guy is also going to hear what I just did. Usually if you just run up to him and smash him on the ground, then what will happen is you'll just be able to sneak up on that guy and take him out normally as well. So now, once we've got out of this base, we are going to call D-Horse. I made sure that I had D-Horse with me in this mission, so that is a very important part of this, just because it's a very long way from here to the central base, and is also, D-Horse is a very good way of getting past guards without being spotted. So the way we're going to do that is there's some guards just up here, and we're just going to go onto this other side of D-Horse, and they're going to be interested in the horse and be like, why is there a horse running past? But they're not going to be alerted to my presence because they didn't see me, even though they probably would have seen my legs hanging over the side of D-Horse. But this is a video game and that doesn't really matter. So now we're heading to the central base, and this is actually going to take quite a while to get there. It's quite a long distance between here and there. So what I'm going to do is, like I usually do, is I'll put timestamps in the description of this video so that you can skip to the ones that you may be missing. As always, I'm doing this in one playthrough, and if you guys have already got some of these, you don't have to get them everything in one playthrough, but this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be getting every single task in this one playthrough, just to make this video a little bit shorter than it would be if I was to do multiple playthroughs. So what we're going to be doing is we're just trying to make sure we get past these guys. If you guys want to skip forward, feel free to. This is also a S-rank walkthrough, so if you guys want to just see everything that there is to do with this, basically what I'm doing is just trying to get from this base that we started at to the next one as quick as possible. So just down here there are going to be 3 guards. These guys are going to be the most annoying out of all of the guards on this road. These guys are protecting a storage container. I have already exfiltrated the storage container, so it doesn't really matter. But those guys, it can be extremely annoying trying to run past, because you have to run past them at such close quarters. The next guys are just patrolling up and down here, and there's a guy in the watchtower just there, so you just want to make sure you be careful of those guys. So that's why I decided to just go onto the side. And there's also another guy right here who is probably the next most annoying person along the road, because he is very close to where you're going to run past. So once you get past him, what we want to do is you just want to drop down. As you can see, the gunship is arriving at the same time as me. That might be different for you depending on how quickly you got to this base. So right there is a Claymore. You want to make sure that you don't run into those because those will set off an explosion. They will hurt you and they will also alert the enemies. If they are not there during your playthrough, then that's just probably because of your deployment missions. They might have changed that. There is also the walker gears. So these two are two of the ones that you need to extract. You've got 3 to extract. The one that Emmerich has does not count towards this mission task. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down and extract these 2 right here, right now. They seem to always be walking along that road when you show up. It didn't matter how long it took me to get to this point. It seems like they were always just walking along that road when I showed up. So I think that is scripted, so you don't have to worry about trying to get here quickly to actually be able to see those guys walking there and actually be able to extract them. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to try and make sure we don't get spotted by this guy so we can actually get up behind the walker gears and we're going to extract them. So my technique for this is just to make sure that the helicopter doesn't spot me because that is very, very bad if the helicopter spots me. It doesn't usually be able to spot you as long as you're on the ground. Even if you're crawling and moving, the attack helicopter just doesn't seem to see you. But you also got to watch out for all the guards in here. So there are a lot of guards in this mission area. So as we have come around the back of these guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to use my trank gun and I'm actually going to shoot each of these guards. So there are 4 guards around here, the 2 guards over there talking and the 2 on the walker gears, and we're just going to shoot them in the body. And what that's going to do is they're just going to be like, what's happening here? And they're just going to brush off, but they are not going to be alerted to my presence. They're just going to be, hey, what's happened here? And then after a little while, they're actually going to fall asleep. So what we're going to do is we're just going to actually wait for that to happen. I'm trying to do this very sneakily because I don't want too many combat alerts. I just don't want too many alerts altogether. And as you can see, they're all just falling asleep. There is also a guy that is going to walk up here if you're doing this at the same time as me, and you can just get him as well. So you just want to get him in the face. Most of these guys are wearing helmets and body armor, so you just want to be careful to make sure that you actually get them in the face or in the body. So now that we have eliminated all these guys, we're just going to be able to extract the walker gear once we have the helicopter gone past us. So don't hop on like I just did. We want to make sure we extract it right there. So just Fulton extract it. I'm not sure what level of Fulton extraction you need to do that. It might be level 3. It might be level 2. And now what we're going to do is we're actually just going to get these guys and shoot them in the face. The reason for this is because we don't want them to wake up, and we're actually going to spend quite a bit of time in the base, and if they wake up they're going to be like, I think an enemy attacked me, look out for the enemy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of them outright so that they are they're not a problem for the rest of the mission. So we're just going to get this last guy right here as well. Make sure not to hit their helmets, just not to waste any ammo. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to head this way. So this is the area where the next bipedal is going to be located. It's kind of patrolling around the base where Emmerich is. So we're also going to get that guy right there. We'll just make sure we know where most of the people are. And over there's another sniper. So you just want to be very careful of some of those guys, because especially if you get a combat alert or something like that, those snipers can be very, very dangerous. So as you can see, I'm just trying to be sneaky. The helicopter is the main reason that's like, I don't want to be running through this base very fast. You can probably do it like just by going guns blazing, run through, destroy the helicopter and everything. That's just not how I decided to want to do it. And what we're going to do is some of these guys we're actually going to take out because we don't want them around when we have Emmerich. So once we've extracted Emmerich, we want to be able to do it without taking any damage. So eliminating them now actually helps towards that, because it means you don't have as many enemies running around the base looking for you. Now, just up here is when everything is going to go absolutely wrong for me. I was trying to do this without being spotted. I don't end up getting spotted, so I don't get a combat alert, but I end up alerting these guards to my presence. So I did get this guy, and then when I tried to take out the sniper up here, I just completely utterly miss. He starts to move, and I just miss him, so that's going to alert him. He's also a sniper, so you want to be very careful about him, because he can actually spot you from a very far far away distance. And as you can see, he's just going to alert that there is an enemy in the base, and we are just going to have to be extremely careful, especially because there is the helicopter, and if you don't have a rocket launcher to take it out, you just don't want any business of that thing seeing you. So this guy has now spotted me. We're getting a reflex mode. We're going to take him out with a headshot using our sniper. I thought that was pretty crazy when it was like, oh my goodness, he spotted me. And so I was like, oh, shoot him, shoot him. And I was so glad that I hit him, because if I didn't hit him, then this could have been all wrong and I would have had to start again. So that now all these guys are actually going to be running around looking for me because they know I'm here. This is actually totally fine for this mission. It actually can help you a little bit. It just means that they are more aware where you are, but they also can actually lead them out of position. So just up here, I'm actually going to show you exactly where the other two mission tasks are. So one of them is extract the Glamor girl from this base, and that is going to be located right there. And there is also the blueprints, which is located in this building. It's actually located a little bit closer to the other minerals in that building, but it doesn't matter, we're going to go and get it. So there is also the third walker gear just over here. He is now on patrols, just kind of hanging out around this area, because of the fact that we're on combat alert, and these guys are guarding the entrance to Emmerich. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for the walker gear to get a lot closer and away from those other two guards so that we can extract it. So what I'm doing is I just want to mark them. Marking a whole lot of guards is actually very, very helpful. It just means that if they move around, like if you get a combat alert or something and they end up chasing after you, you know exactly where they are and where they've come from. Those two guys are actually going, where is this guy? He was over here somewhere, and we're just going to try and make sure we don't get spotted. So now we're just going to try and get this guy off the back of the walker gear. Now there is another technique to this, so you can do the same one that I used before by shooting him, as I'm going to do now. And then there is another technique. What you can do is you can just go up to him, sneak up beside him, and then hold your pistol up to him, and what will happen is Snake will say, get off, be quiet, and what will happen, he will get off and he'll put his hands up, and then you can just take him out or whatever. Now there is this guy up here, as I spotted him before. Now he is on this side of the building, so we're just going to make sure we take him out so he's not going to be a nuisance. There is also these guys that are actually heading back to the normal post. He's going to notice that this guy's down, so we're just going to tranquilize him. We want to try and be very careful about how many silence rounds we have lost. So as you can see, I've lost all my silence rounds for this, so now I'm going to try and use this weapon because I got more silence rounds, and I'm not doing a very good job. This is actually, everything's not going right. I eventually get him in the face, and then this guy ends up spotting me. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get him, but we don't end up doing that, so we're just going to extract the walker gear. They don't know exactly where I am. They just are now alerted again to my presence, and they're like, okay, there's definitely an enemy in here, let's try and find him. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and get the Glamor girl poster, and we're also going to get the blueprints. So the Glamor girl poster, as I said before, is located just inside this building. You have to get this one. There may be other ones around the base, but if you don't get this one, you will not get the mission task. So there we go, that is the Glamor girl poster we wanted to get, and I'm just going to try and remove these markers so it doesn't annoy me for the rest of the mission. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the blueprints. So look around for the guards around here. If they haven't spotted you yet and you're trying to get past this point, there may be some guards hanging out around this tent area, so you just want to be careful about that. This door is open, so you can just run in and get these. So that's where I placed the marker, but there's actually, the blueprints are just over here. And you just go up to them and grab them, and that will give you the other mission task. So now what we're going to do is we are just going to extract Emmerich. So first of all, we've got to make contact with him. That is one of the mission tasks. That is the mandatory mission task, and then you got to extract him. And the other thing you want to do is extract him without him taking any damage. So that is one of the reasons why I tried to take out as many guards as possible, just because it makes it a lot easier when you're leaving this mission, so that you can just leave it without anyone spotting you, and you can just run out of the base basically. So as you can see, I'm just taking out the guards that spot me. This guy is going to have to die as well. He spotted me as well. So we now got just two more guys that I really need to get rid of. So this guy right here. And luckily that didn't alert this guy over here. He must have been facing it the wrong way. as he is, and we're going to get him as well, just using the sniper. And as I said before, I'm just trying to spread out all of my weapons because I don't want to lose the silencer on too many of my weapons as I get through here. So now we get to this point, what we're going to do is we're going to extract Emmerich. There is a cutscene that you can skip, so whenever I decide to do that, you can do that. And then we have now got Emmerich. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this walker gear right here. This is very helpful for getting him out. It seems like it's like, oh, why would you use this thing? It's very loud and stuff, but it's actually very easy to get him out using this without taking any damage, because it actually helps protect him, and also you can kill enemies a lot quicker. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for the walker gear to be available. Now it is available, we can now have this. There will be a second cinematic where it was like, get him to use it. Then you can also skip this one when I eventually decide to do that. Sometimes I'm just like, I get invested into the story, I'm just like, oh, I'll just watch this, and it's like, oh wait, I should skip this. It'd be actually quicker if I skip it. So now we've got Emmerich, we can now get out of here very quickly, and this is probably the hardest part of this mission, trying to get out without being without Emmerich taking any damage. So what we're going to do is, because we have not had any combat alerts, we will now be able to get out of here without being hit, because we will have the reflex mode to help us. So that is what I'm going to very much use to get him out. So we have got the Gatling gun set up. This is actually very good because it's not very loud, but you can just take out enemies very, very easily because it's got a nice zoom on it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run around here, and we're going to wait until someone spots me. I'm not actually too sure who spots me here. It took me a while to figure out exactly who spot me. This guy right here, I hadn't seen him before, and we're just going to take him out there. And now what you want to do is you want to try and make sure that you still get reflex modes. These guys, I think, have now no longer got the reflex mode because of the fact that I've shot that other guy and I didn't get him fast enough. So what you want to do is you just make sure you kill everyone so that they don't end up shooting you. And we're going to head over to this guy. This guy is the only guy in between us. As you can see, we got another reflex mode. So we obviously still had reflex mode available, and we are going to just get rid of him. So you just shoot in like bursts, and they'll give you a lot better accuracy at trying to get out there. Now we'll just head to the extraction zone, and then we'll get another cinematic and the end kind of part to this mission. So once this allows me to skip it, I'm going to skip it. It's just going to load the cinematic, and now we should be able to skip it as soon as possible. Now we've got to face the giant walker gear. We've got to be very careful about this guy. What I usually do is I usually grab the walker gear that we were using before. So I drop Emmerich, I would jump in the walker gear, and then I'd pick Emmerich up again. This time I just wanted to see what it was like if I was doing it running. I thought it might be safer because usually I start getting shot at when I'm trying to put Emmerich in the walker gear, when I'm trying to pick him up when I'm in the walker gear, and I just wanted to see what it was like this. It is a lot slower to run. The walker gear is a lot faster, but I think you are a lot less visible and you're a lot quieter when you're running around instead of in the walker gear. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run this way, taking as much cover as possible. I just wanted to check exactly where he was so that I didn't get hit and didn't get spotted. And you just want to try and run as fast as you can, as far as away from him as you can, so that you don't get spotted by him and don't take any damage. Because you don't want Emmerich to take any damage, so that you can get this last mission task. So this is the way that I've always taken. I've never had a problem with this mission task. Every time I've done this mission, I've got to the mission task, and I've actually done it through this mission at least 4 times. And so what I'm going to show you is this exactly where I end up going to. And when you get to here, you will not be spotted by anything. So these things around here, I don't know if you can get spotted by them. I'm guessing that's what they are, like these little sensor droids that are going to come around. They will end up exploding after a while. They might be able to spot you. You guys probably know this if you have any problems with it. I've always I found this spot very early on. Like the first time I tried it, I was just like, I was running away from him, and then I saw these things. I was like, I gotta hide from these crazy drone things. So I was just like down here hiding. And now what you want to do is you just want to wait for the right opportunity to run to the helicopter so you don't get spotted. So what I do is I just wait for him to get a lot closer and get to the right side of this rock. So as you can see, I'm just waiting for as long as possible. I don't want to be spotted by this guy, and don't want him to start chasing you. Otherwise, he can get in the way of the helicopter, and therefore he can actually have a lot more of a chance of getting you. So as you see, I'm just waiting. I don't know if he can spot. He'll spot you very easily here. I just want to make sure that I don't get spotted at all. This is how I've always done it. So this is just a way that you should definitely be able to get it without Emmerich taking any damage by doing it like this. So as you can see, I'm just waiting for the right moment. Usually he'll start like screaming just right at that point, so you just want to start running. This time he didn't start screaming, and then once we get to this point here, we just want to make sure that we don't get spotted. He kind of spotted us there, and so we wanted to make sure we just hide behind the cover and get Emmerich on the helicopter as soon as possible. So here we go, the helicopter's down. We can just load Emmerich up. We want to hop on at the same time, so you just press triangle to get in, or Y if you're playing on Xbox. And then what we're going to do is we just want to start shooting at this guy when he's going to attack us. He has this crazy jump. It's like, how is that thing even possible? And now he's going to shoot some more of those little drones up, so you just want to make sure that you shoot them out of the sky, otherwise they might end up hurting you. I think if they hurt the chopper, they might hurt Emmerich, so just make sure that they don't hurt the chopper or you, so therefore you won't lose that task, that mission task. Then when he starts jumping, you just want to start shooting at him, and eventually you'll start hearing the damage. When it's like you hear that ting 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 ting, that means the walker gear is actually taking damage. Obviously we've now destroyed it, and that will be the end of this mission. And then we will also have all the mission tasks, and so hopefully you guys have been able to get all the mission tasks. There is also another cutscene, and then you should get your scoreboard. Obviously, as you can see, I've unlocked a few things because I've extracted some few people. And there we go. I also get an S rank. So as you can see, I get 170,000 points. 112 of those is for doing it in 21 minutes. And so it's obviously not the quickest timed through there. You can probably do it a lot quicker, but it's the way of getting every single mission task. So that's what I'm going to do for this video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have now got all the mission tasks and possibly an S rank. And now it's time for me to say see you guys and girls, and hopefully see you in the next video.